Alright, what's up everyone? So, like I said in my YouTube short, we're going to be replacing my cluster on my truck. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. So if we turn this over, you'll see all the connections that it goes to. So you see all these, and you got this right here, and you also have a place where a plug's going to go. And we need to remove all of these connections out of my truck that's on my cluster so we can remove it and put this one in. It shouldn't take too long. It should be pretty easy. Alright, so if we look under here, I don't know if you can see it very well or not. Maybe you can turn the flash on. There we go. If you look just right past over here, you'll see the back of the cluster, and you'll see all the connections. So we need to go ahead and remove those. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I want to show you what it looks like afterward. Also, to remember, you have these two connections right there and right over here where it's bolted down to the frame. So you need to get those, and then you can pull it out a little bit. It'll make it easier to remove the electrical stuff and the cable for the speedometer. Also, you need to remove all these little bolts that are along the dash so you can pull it up. So let's go ahead and do these last two right over here. So personally, I used a 7mm, which is the same one I used for the bolts for the sides of the cluster. So let's go ahead and finish removing those. Okay, and then here's another one. Alright, there you go. So now we should be able to pull up the dash just a little bit. So once you get that unbolted and the connections off, you should be able to pull it out of there. Okay, so now that you have removed all the bolts and loosened up the dash a little bit, so now you're able to pull that up and you can finish pulling this out. So if we look behind here, like you can see, this is where the cable goes for the speedometer, and then also you have the connection right over here. That is a backlight, and then also you have the, of course, the main one. So if we look back here, so this is the connection that I was talking about that goes right there, and then here's the cable for the speedometer. And then if you look back over here, pull this out, there's the backlight. And that's pretty much it if you don't have the shift indicator connected. But we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to take our old one right here. If you look at that, it's pretty old. And we're going to grab the new one. So we set it right here. And see, make sure that we have everything. Okay. So with this, since it does have the shift indicator, we have to connect it up with this. And what it does is whenever you pull the shifter down, it pulls this and it shows you, indicates, see, reverse, neutral, drive, 2 and 1, and then it'll pull it back. Now, clearly, oh goodness, oh no. So it has a bolt missing right there that we're gonna have to find. But, I mean, besides that, it's doing alright. We need to pull this back up because, well, it won't shift like that. So give me 1 second. So actually, I had a brand new shift indicator. So I went ahead and took this off and put the new one on here. I just found a random bolt that fit and put it right there. So as you can see, when you pull it, it goes to each one as it should, and it's got a new spring. Now also, if you're installing this, when you unbolt it, you need to pull this as you're putting this bolt in, or else it won't go incorrectly and it would be very hard to do it. So just pull on this as you're hand tightening that right there, just placing it. But yeah, so we're about to go put this into there, and I'll see y'all in a second. Alright, so now that we have all this set up and ready, we're going to make sure that we see all of our connections. So we have this one right here, the cable, and then you also have the speedometer cable, and then you also have the backlight over here, and we're going to move. Give me 1 second. We're going to move back here, and if you see right here, you got to unscrew that because the new shift indicator cable is going to go right there. So whenever you pull this up and you shift, it pushes this down and pulls it so you can see what you're on. So let's go ahead and do that. See y'all in a second. Alright, so I connected up the shift indicator cable, and I also went ahead and just went under here and connected everything up because it's not a whole lot of connections that I had to make. So all I got to do now is screw all this stuff in and put my dash back down. So guys, thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe and comment what you'd like for me to do next. And if you have any tips or tricks, please comment that down below too. Have a blessed day.